Looks like some bruising on the arm, so a Jade. She just close. Oh! You're knocked out of the air. Watch jump pin from Jade Jones in her Misfits debut. Incredible.
What's good, y'all? What's good? I'm here. I'm ready for it. Let's see what the world's got to say today. I know it's been a rough one. And as a lot of people could see, there's a lot of scrutiny, a lot of things that are said. The boxing world's a tough world. You know what I'm saying? We ended up in an interesting position. Even the promoter himself wasn't aware of what we kind of walked into. We were told that our opponent was, really new to boxing. Granted, being that, I'm not the management. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually signed to the same management. So our management was given a lot of false information. That's perfect. That's good. That's good. Yep. So, you meet a lot of people. The boxing world has its ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that you have to kind of just roll with the punches. I'm proud of my wife for, even with the mismatch situation that we all were unaware of, I'm very proud to see her go out there and, it's either you go out on your shield or you put somebody on it. That's really what it is. So there's not much we can do. My job being a husband, a lot of people, you want to say that, I got to protect better. We were sending people in that at like, how do you say it? With the people that we could, with the resources we had, we were sending, trying to make sure that we were in a really, clear position on who our opponent was. We're searching for sparring. We're searching for info. We're wanting to know, okay, how long has she been on? We had no clue she was in a year camp. We were told that this girl she started playing around with boxing for a couple months at the end of the beginning of last year. And then she went on ice all the way to November. So, when you think about shit like that, you're like, okay, 4 or 5 months of working on hands when they seen back when Egypt was training for Demi Sims, we thinking we have a better hand. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know that was it, because when you go in and you look for an opponent, people got to dissect Taekwondo. Taekwondo is a whole bunch of kicks. It's not really anything to do with hands. And if you look up the interviews that Jade was taking, she even said, I've never thrown hands before. It's not something that I've worked on. I've been, training my feet since I was like 8 years old. So we had a lot of lack of information, and it made people, assume that we set it up. They wanted to make sure that they scammed us into this shit, because what else? Look at it. It's headlines. But if you're looking at the real boxing world and how they're seeing it, the boxing world is really not happy with, Jade's choice. They're not happy with the setup. They're looking at it saying, bro, you really bamboozled somebody, and you're super foul for that. So, we take what we can on the chin, and we keep on pushing. We're back in the gym. Egypt, she'll be back in the gym soon. We want to make sure that it gets a little bit more good, to make sure health and safety is good, because that is number one. For everybody who is watching, I was the one who was given the water on the side. I wasn't allowed to be in the ring because I wasn't coaching. I'm under the similar shit, So when I say it's real talk, rewatch the fight when she got hit. And if I would have known, you'll see I tried to rush the ring. I attempted to rush the ring and rush everybody in the ring. I had already felt the way I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to run with what they want to run with. To my father-in-law, it's your daughter, man. Of course, I can understand that there's going to be a whole lot of upset. There's going to be a whole lot of scare and fear. There's not much I can do. Like I said, I'm not her management. I'm not the trainer. I'm a part of the same team type thing. So when it comes down to it, like, I understand what happened. I understand, Treach, that you're bothered by it. I'm just as bothered. I would never want to risk anybody, and as far as the clout chase, the names and everything that is thrown at me, it comes with the territory. I can see a lot of frustrations and words come out that might run in a person's mind when they're under that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at my father-in-law for him caring about his daughter, how he cares and how he does things. You know, you just kind of have to just roll with it and understand the territory. I'm not hateful towards it. I'm a little disappointed that I couldn't have maybe got on the phone and told him, like, hey man, we got set up, man. Like, they set us up even clear across the board to the promoter. The promoter himself actually came to the room after the fight, and he was like, dude, he told Pep and Egypt both, he bet on Egypt. His bet was on Egypt. He said, I wasn't aware of any of this stuff. You know, so like I said, I'm not really upset that, you know, my father-in-law is bothered. I mean, as you can see, he watched his daughter get hurt, and as you can see, I watched my wife, you know, so in a point second for me, I had to question if I'm a single parent, which is a very scary thing. I got to question if everything's going to be okay, you know, so it was a scary thing for everybody. So I'm not mad. I'm not going to be bothered by it. All I can do is be understanding, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of just is what it is. You end up in these situations and stuff happens, and, you know, it's back to the drawing board. It's get better. It's, you know, in Egypt, she'll definitely be, you know, showing more of what she worked on in camp. So you can see who was really, you know, going on. You can see that the fight we fought was a little different than what was planned for. But any boxer will tell you that first fight, you're shitting out there. Everything's out the door before you even get hit. Everything is straight to the kill shot. You can't really remember anything because the adrenaline's so heavy, you know. So she did that, and that's kind of just what it is, you know. We're gonna bring back and better to the ones questioning my skill set and what I do myself, even though, like I said, I'm not management, I'm not the trainer. You guys know I have a strong record. I have 2 belts, and I'll be making my debut over into that area, so I can definitely be able to show you guys as well that this camp and this team, we're very strong. We're very, very strong, and we're very, you know, positive throughout camp. We just did our best, you know what I'm saying? And I think I'm good to co-sign and say that if even my brother and me are sitting in the same zone, he has every right to be in the same fear and anger as his sister. He was here, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he'd be at my throat times 10 if he knew that I was running this corner and I was doing this and I messed all this up, you know, and everybody would have the right to be that way. So this is going to be good. We just kind of have to work hard and do our thing. So I love y'all, and I'm sorry for the result, but I'm excited to see, you know, the reckoning that comes from it. So you guys be easy, and peace and love, all right?
Okay. If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.